Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report for a look at the explosive growth in Twitter's data business, and then Annie Pettit's genius about survey design and mobile research. RBDR is sponsored today and this week by KL Communications, which asks, is your online community feeling or perhaps even becoming a little bit stale? KL Communications is ready to help you inject new life into your online community through the power of co-creation. And we'll give you some detail about that and a tip that you can use with your own co-creation work at the end of today's video. Last year, when we at RFL Communications shook up the research industry a bit with our first annual Global Top 50 Market Research Organizations, one of the most surprising business to make the cut was Twitter. In 2014, Twitter's data licensing had generated for the company over $141 million, placing the business at number 30 worldwide on our list. Well, DailyNewsX.com's Daniel McDonald is reporting that Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, quote, has been reinvigorating its foundation as a real-time data service. Back in 2010, 75% of Twitter revenues came from data, only $7.3 million from advertising. Well, today, that situation has been completely turned on its head. But McDonald wrote that in February, Dorsey listed developers as his fifth priority, and it has been churning out big improved revenue numbers from sales of data. Twitter is kind of stuck at 320 million users around the world, but its data licensing revenues are anything but stuck. Fourth quarter of 2015 data licensing revenues hit $70 million. That was up 48% versus the same fourth quarter in 2014. For calendar year 2015, we are estimating that Twitter data revenues struck the $224 million mark, and that is 58% higher than in 2014, and it could mean that Twitter jumps into our top 25 for the next report that is due out this June. Next, Annie Pettit blogged back in mid-November a question that has stuck with me, and I think it may become more relevant with each passing day. What did she ask? Why waste time adapting surveys for mobile devices? What was she getting at? She was really asking, why are researchers not designing surveys for mobile when they first sit down to do the survey creation? And that is versus creating a survey for desktops, which is what they do now, and then doing a second one for smaller mobile devices. Pettit premised that research would be better if it was initially created in a mobile context. Why? For several reasons. It would cut words out of questions and more words out of answers. It would cut questions from grids and reformat grids because they don't work on a small screen. It would shorten instructions and reduce the complexity of fancy and pretty questions. So she summed it all up in her very brief blog, suggesting, pretend no one has and no one ever had a desktop computer. Belatedly, I applaud Annie's simple, straightforward thinking that cut right to the nerve of several industry problems that, for one reason or another, we just can't seem to get past. Bravo, Annie. That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored today and this week by KL Communications, which asks, is your online community feeling stale? If you haven't given much thought to that in a while, well, now might be the time to do so. Online communities have been around for 15 years, but if you really want to take advantage of them today, you've got to optimize them, and that requires staying current. And KL Communications is here to help you accomplish that. One of its best pieces of advice is not to settle for capturing the opinions of crowds, which everybody talks about all the time. Instead, tap into the wisdom that are generated by crowds. And KL Communications' different ways of thinking and researching like that has already benefited Delta Airlines, Time Inc., and Bacardi. All week long, we've been passing along tips from KL Communications to elevate your co-creation research. And today, President Kevin Lonnie has asked us to advise that with increasing pressure to demonstrate ROI out of the research function, customer co-creation provides an opportunity to boost the odds of a successful product introduction. He says you should find some low-hanging fruit where nothing has really worked particularly well in a long while, but still be very selective and wait for the perfect opportunity. And then aim for the fences, but protect yourself by keeping expectations low. For more information from KL Communications, visit the link, which is in the email to subscribers, and it's also in the description box underneath today's video. Have yourself a great research day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.